Hello, this is Patrick. Welcome to Chart Built Wealth, profitable investing with technical analysis. Well, these are really interesting times. And after much deliberation, because there's a few things I could uh, communicate to you, but after much deliberation, I've decided to talk about platinum. I know it's a commodity, I know it's outside of the stock arena, but I think this is where you're going to get outperformance and you could get some really, really big moves. So if you haven't bought commodities in the past, now with the ability to buy them through ETFs, this is probably a good vehicle and would give you some diversification. So let's get into it. So this is the ETF for platinum. This is physical platinum, so it's actually a little more safe. Just a little bit of background. Again, I look at charts without a name on them basically, and if I like the chart, I buy them. But platinum, just to give you a little bit of background, according to ChatGPT, platinum is a versatile and valuable metal used in various industries due to its unique properties. Jewelry, automo automo automotive industry, it's used for converters, electronics, medical devices, chemical industry, investments. It's all what ChatGPT says is, and they're not always right, but usually platinum is traded as a precious metal, often seen as a store of value, similar to gold and silver. So with gold and silver up at nosebleed levels, and if you look at this long-term chart of platinum going back to 2010, you can see the big bearish channel here, and this looks a lot like many of the other things that I've been recommending as far as maybe China and some other things. But anyway, this big bearish pattern was in a bear market all this time from 2010 to 2020. And since then, it's been bouncing around $75 on support. And I've marked some things on here, and I don't want to get too technical really, but for you that are, Richard Wyckoff back in the 40s, maybe the 50s, but I think the 40s, he had this whole process, and there's Wyckoffians who follow his model, but basically it's trying to identify, in this instance, a bottoming process. And so we've gone through the spring, we've gone through the secondary reaction, we've gone through the last point of supply, and we just need to jump over this creek here. So you can see the big consolidation here is going back to 2021, and it's getting wound tighter and tighter and tighter. And I like to identify patterns, pattern recognition, but also when you get these tighter and tighter consolidations, when they break, they can move really fast and fluid. And so hopefully in this case, it's going to break to the upside because if it broke down, it would go fast also. But this is a long-term vision. You want to, how does it say, look at the forest before you go to the trees. So something like that. So here we are with a tight consolidation. Let's take a closer look at this because it's really what I'm interested in. And here's our symmetrical triangle, and it really fits the bill. It should have three legs on each touch within the triangle. So A, B, C. So you got an A, B, C, D, E, even an extra here, a little bit of a pullback. And I don't want to see this moving average cluster broken. I don't want to play this thing down to 80. I want to, if I'm going to take a loss, I want to take a quick loss, a small loss, a 5% loss. I don't want to take a, 15% loss. So I'm going to go right here. And really the bigger reason, not the moving averages, but also the point and figure, we break a bullish trend line, which I'm going to show you next. But anyway, if we're able to break above, let's say if we are able to get to 100, you measure the base of this triangle and you project it up and you come up with around 144, which would be 60% higher. yeah, we haven't broken out of that, and it can chop around here for a long time. Even though we're getting closer to the apex, it really has to kind of make up its mind here pretty soon. So anyway, this is the big potential that I see. Uh, I don't think you're going to see gold go up 60% from where it is. Silver, you could get a big run, but it's already kind of moved a lot. So you're kind of chasing it. This is one that you can get in possibly at the beginning of a really big bullish move. So, and I like commodities. I think commodities are going to do much better than the overall stock market. So, let's take a look at this end piece here because this is where we're getting involved. We're trying to identify something before this breakout. And so we're going to look at this small part. Well, first, we're going to look at the point and figure chart. So the point and figure chart, a true chart of supply and demand, no, the least subjective uh, type of influence that you can get. It's really supply and demand. If the supply pushes the ETF up, you get an X. If it pushes it down, you get an O. We got a blue bullish trend line here. And on this breakout here, and now we got a new breakout here, we got 110 price projection. So, and we got a little pullback right now, which is giving us a good opportunity. But 110, we get to 110, we clear the resistance line of our big 1, 2, 3 year symmetrical triangle, and that would get us off to the races with this bigger pattern. So, I like the fact that the point and figure is in our favor. And now I'm going to drill down to that small part on the end of the chart, this small part. And I'm trying to find a way to get involved in this before it breaks out. Really similar to China, similar to GDX, the gold miners back before, similar to Marathon Oil. And so once it gets up here, it's going to be kind of overbought, and then I feel like I'm chasing. So I'm initiating a position here, and then I'm going to be adding to it. I'm going to sell some when it goes up. I'm going to buy more when it goes down. This won't go in a straight line. It'll be a zigzag line up if that's what it chooses to do. So back to the short-term chart, we have a small possible inverse head and shoulders pattern. We got the shoulder here, we got the head here, and now we started a few days of a right shoulder. So, you know, I would rather have a more developed right shoulder, similar to this. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days of a left shoulder, and here we got 3 days. But we did have a bullish hammer yesterday. And so maybe it takes a few days before it really gets going. But anyway, I like to reward the risk here, even on a short-term basis. When I forget that big 3 year symmetrical triangle, and I just look at this little June, July, August, September 4 month pattern, if we're able to get up to like 94, we measure from the bottom of the head of the neckline, we project that up and you get 104, which is 14% above today's close. Um, and my risk right now is very minimal. Again, let's call it 87, and it's kind of in line with where we would break our bullish trend line. This is saying 86. So maybe 86 would be a better number, but maybe here would be a better number. Maybe I'll adjust that because I would want to see this bullish trend line broken before I sell my position. And again, I'll be updating this so I would help you work through that. So that's, the small pattern is suggesting higher prices. The intermediate term is suggesting really big higher prices. If you look at gold and silver, they've been extremely profitable, and I've been in both of those. And I think platinum is going to be the next one to go. And so I just wanted to share that with you. I don't have sentiment numbers, which would be nice, but my guess is you look at this and it's gone nowhere, and you look at gold and silver and they're at nosebleed levels, I would say that there's going to be much more bullish sentiment in gold and silver than here. So I think again, you're kind of buying it before it happens. It doesn't mean we can't get stopped out and take our loss, but the reward to risk here, I think, is huge. Thank you for watching Chart Built Wealth, profitable investing with technical analysis. Please like and subscribe. I am going to have a kind of a table with my recommendations since January and the performance of them. I think it's been pretty darn good. Please like and subscribe. I also, again, do intraday updates, which will help you get in and out of these positions. Thank you and have a great evening.